Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. You know where to find us every Sunday night on Infanity TV on YouTube.
Yes,
and we're here to bring it to you hot, live, and uncensored, like our intro brings it. Let me introduce my co-hosts here. We got Money Mic always to my right.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Good day. You know, let's see if we're going to get a win and try to get to 500 before All-Star break.
Exactly. Step Pat.
Good, man. It's funny that Money was saying that because I think it's like for the last week.
We gotta get this.
We've been saying like we 20 games behind them, like in the odds column, and like we ain't moved nowhere. Like we've been stagnant. Like
but everyone else is losing too. Right. Luckily,
so it's
again, everyone else is keeping the door open.
I never seen a number one seed have like 13 losses this time of the year. I never seen.
Yeah,
before,
it's crazy. Yeah, nobody's really dominating.
No,
thank God, right?
Before we begin, guys, we'd be remiss if we didn't touch base on the tragedy that's happened today or last night. Of course, I'm sure you've all heard about it. There was a mass shooting in the Monterey Park, Alhambra area. That is our home. That is where our studio is here in Monterey Park. So this happened probably less than 5 minutes from where we are recording or hosting the show right now. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims and the families and friends of victims and anyone who was involved. It's a tragedy, no exaggeration. It's absolutely horrid. Hopefully, more details will come out. We believe that they have located the shooter at this point, but he was at large originally, which was a scary thought. But, we would be remiss if we didn't at least touch base on that. Mm-hmm. So thank you all for your support and prayers for Monterey Park and the families and friends. Like you said, very strong community here, very strong Asian influence, and we're sure that they'll, bounce back and be okay. So let's just stay strong and happy Lunar New Year, as that's what they were celebrating. So we've got that. Let's move on to a little bit of funner stuff, guys. Stuff that we talk about on the show here. Of course, today, let me just touch base on what we're going to talk about here. We've got the NFL playoffs. We're going to touch base. We're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe's incident at the Laker game, which was incredible and awesome. And Money Mike's wondering why he would get thrown out if he did that, but Shannon Sharpe didn't.
Right.
And then coming up here, I believe it's on Thursday, guys, is the anniversary of the tragic crash that killed Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and 7 others, I believe.
Yes.
So we're going to touch base on that and just, again, remembrance of what that means to us. But let's get started here with the Lakers. The Lakers are...
Another anniversary also.
What's that?
Today's the anniversary also for Kobe.
Today is also the anniversary of his 81-point game.
Yes.
So a lot is happening here. A lot, as you can see, we're repping some Kobe here.
Yeah.
Lakers, Kobe. So, got to represent. This is a Laker show, Laker hometown, and Laker community. So we're going to stay strong with that, you guys. Right now, the Lakers, or today, the Lakers have played the Portland Trailblazers. As you know, we are the official podcast of the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the Clubhouse room where they do a live watch party for every game. If you're not part of this and you haven't joined, you're missing out. If you're a Laker fan, you need to get on to the Clubhouse app and you need to sign up for the Los Angeles Lakers fan club. It's the official fan club on Clubhouse. It's the biggest one there. You can't miss it. And again, we are the official podcast there. So we're going to hop in and talk to everyone and see how they're feeling about this game in just a few minutes, in between what would at this point would be the first and second quarter of the Lakers game. And again, they're playing in Portland, which is always a very difficult spot to grab a win, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what team Portland's putting on the court. The Lakers always have difficulty getting a win in Portland. But let's go ahead and get started here. Let's start with something funny. which luckily didn't turn into more. Let's start with Shannon Sharpe incident. All right, guys. So unless you're living under a rock, Shannon Sharpe got into it verbally with the players on the Memphis Grizzlies, including Dylan Brooks, John Morant, and even Steven Adams was in there a little bit. And
it really was kind of just.
It was kind of silly, but you've got it.
I think it was really kind of Steven Adams, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was Dylan Brooks first.
Well, it was
Dylan Brooks.
But Dylan Brooks, but here's the thing, though. See, if you look at the play-by-play behind this, right?
Yeah.
You know, Dylan Brooks was on the opposite side, right? He was over there on the opposite.
He was chirping, though.
He was chirping,
You know how
but
it
he was on the
goes.
opposite side, though, right? Yeah, they just yelling across. It got real when Steven Adams came over.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it
Well,
got
enforcer.
real. And when basically John Morant tell him to sit your ass down.
Yeah,
Like when he says this,
but see, John Morant came.
You don't want these problems.
Because of
Right.
who was over there. Who was over there? Because Adams came. See,
Right.
You
Well, yeah,
already know.
Morant's
but
not coming
no,
unless the enforcer's
is-
there to
the
support.
The question is,
Bodyguard.
if Adams is not there looking at him eye to eye, is John Morant coming over there?
No,
trying to
you don't want
confront
that
Shay?
smoke.
no,
Because
with the
we
distraction,
know-
as Shay
Yeah.
says, right?
Hey, anybody that play football have to be a little crazy, a little.
Well, that's why
Because they like to get hit.
Well, that's why I
Yeah.
thought it was so funny where there was like you go on Twitter and you see all these different comments, and then people are like saying like oh, he had a different energy when Steven Adams came over. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. First of all,
He ain't scared.
Shannon Sharpe played offense in the 80s. That means there literally is no unnecessary roughness for taking fools' head off
Right.
going across the middle.
Mhm.
He's a
They
tight
didn't
end.
have to make a step.
Didn't really. And I'm
They
just
got
saying.
hit.
And I'm just and they get knocked off, and it's
Mhm.
like this dude played and
I mean,
won 3 Super Bowls.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Ronnie Lott was playing back then.
Bruh,
Right?
Mark Carey playing back then. You know what I'm saying?
Richard
Like
Dent.
just headhunters, right? Like that,
Yeah.
that really want to hurt. And it's like, and we're gonna say that a person that literally, and if y'all ain't seen it, y'all go ahead and check out Shannon Sharpe's pictures at 54 years old and look at
he's
his
looking
picture
sharp, yeah.
when he's taking
He's
his shirt
looking
off.
sharp.
Yes,
He's still in
that
great
fool's ripped.
shape.
Like, and I'm thinking, like, okay, so we looking at this guy, and Steven Adams is supposed to have this intimidation factor. I'm like, but like 4 years ago, like when Nick Young, I remember when Nick Young actually put a little elbow in give him a little elbow. He didn't do nothing to Nick Young. I'm like, this Nick Young.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe
yeah,
that he's supposed to go ahead and check Shannon Sharpe. And I'm like, nah, he ain't. He want none of those problems. Nobody wanted those problems. And it was just funny to see all that, go out. But it just felt like it was a commercial for Undisputed, though.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the next one, Undisputed, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's what it looked like.
It doesn't hurt Shannon Sharpe, but I guess people
I
are
can't wait
now
for Monday. I can't wait to see what he's going to say.
They're crowning him the king of the Bronsexuals now, being that he's always, pushing and supporting Braun. But, you can't knock it. And, this gets into a little bit of what we talked about a few shows back, which is the respect for the older athletes that came before some of these newer ones. A lot of them don't know that stuff. You've got, what was it, JJ Redick saying they played against a bunch of plumbers and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, you got Dylan Brooks out there saying you're just a blogger. You better ask somebody.
For
Shannon
real.
Sharpe ain't just a blogger.
No,
He
earned that spot.
He earned that. This was his secondary career, Dylan Brooks,
Right.
and he's kicking ass at that too. So he
Yeah.
kicked ass at both careers. And who knows? He's probably got businesses going on the side as well. So he's definitely not just a blogger. That's for sure. So you better ask somebody. You better do some research.
Hey, here's my
because that's
question.
out of line.
Here's my question. Why he didn't get kicked out?
I mean, do you want?
I mean, I'm just saying.
So
if,
do you
if
want?
I'm there, I'm yelling the same everything verbatim.
You're out.
You're out.
I'm not gonna be in a $3,000 sweater like he was in. You know what I mean?
Or
But
the $5,000.
So you
suit.
asking
But-
all these questions,
I'm
bro,
just wondering.
knowing you ain't the same.
Yeah, but I'm just.
So
wondering-
I'm just saying,
but
like-
I'm just saying though, like that. But that wasn't even the conversation. Like they were like, "Hey, everything's cool. Just sit down, Shannon. We're gonna go back to the game." Like I
You have a problem with that?
I'm just wondering. Like I would have got kicked out and probably would have been
I
banned.
would have got kicked out too.
I would, and banned.
You would have been Clipper
Would Drake
Darrell.
would have got kicked out?
They would have Clipper Darrelled your ass.
Huh?
Would Drake?
Yeah.
Drake?
They would've
Would Drake
kicked
in
out.
Toronto would have got kicked out if that
No,
happened?
he would
Nah,
have.
nah.
So would Spike Lee would have got kicked out?
No.
So
That's
you see
your
what I'm
fault.
going? You see what I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
So you see what I'm going with this? Like
Special treatment.
so things ain't the same for certain people. So you can't look at him as an isolated incident and be like, well, what
Cool,
if I had
cool,
that? Because you know the people who came before Shea ain't never getting kicked
Charles
out.
Oakley would have got kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in New York,
James Dolan would have said kick his ass out.
He would have got kicked out. He's the exception to the rule, right?
Dolan was like, kick his ass out.
Exactly. Hey guys, there's about 40 seconds left in this quarter, and then we're going to go to
Let's count.
the count is currently 32-26.
All right.
So then we're going to immediately jump into the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. You'll join us here on the show, but we'll keep talking because we know that these last seconds can last a while. We're down to 24 seconds now, guys.
Good.
So the Lakers at least came back. Memphis, great team this year, right? They're leading the West, and they came back and they won by that 1 point. They overcame that close game.
Finally.
Yeah, and they overcame. Was it because of Shannon Sharpe? Was that the extra motivation that they needed?
No, we won that game because LeBron did not have the ball at the last minute.
There you go.
It was Schroeder.
So Schroeder controlled the last
Wait a minute, though.
Of the game.
All right, so I look, man. Look, dude, look. I hear that. So what was a game about 2-3 games ago when we had the ball?
Westbrook?
Yes, and Westbrook literally.
Well, Embiid fouled him, though.
Okay, so I'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just talk about the whole thing because we got the rebound. We have 2 timeouts. We dribble it, and then we take off. LeBron didn't score. LeBron didn't touch the ball. So I'm just saying, LeBron didn't touch the ball, so we couldn't blame LeBron for losing that game. At the same time, we're saying the reason why we won the game is because LeBron didn't touch the ball.
Well, he's in
I'm just trying to figure out.
Look. And we got to go because to us, and I'm gonna say this, but I'm consistent in what I'm saying, right? Because what do I always ask LeBron to do at the end of the game? Drive to the basket.
Right, take it to the rack.
What do? He drove to the basket.
Yeah, but he ain't getting no call.
I'm put the onus on the refs to get the calls. It was still the right move.
Right.
It was the right play.
The thing.
Can't control what the refs are going to do. All right, guys, this quarter is over. Let's go ahead. Jump right into the watch party for the Los Angeles Lakers at the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Let's see what we got here.
Breath answer.
There we go. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Oh, just
So,
hey, guys.
end of first quarter, 33-26.
Nice.
You're there.
Yeah.
We are. Hello, are we there?
Hello.
This is Profanity Nation. Are we here in the fan club?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? Hey, look. So right now it's 33-26, but wasn't it 18-4?
Ah, come on,
man. It was like 18-2,
yeah,
18-4, and then I don't know what happened.
You know that's not going to hold the whole game. They just got a slow start. And look, the Lakers have historically had trouble winning in Portland. So, but you're right. They need to keep this up. They need to keep the drive. They cannot let Portland take a lead on them because that's going to be difficult to overcome, regardless of the talent that's on the court. That's for sure. Like I said, Lakers have always had issues in Portland, guys. But as we said, we're here. We're live on the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. We've got Crispy and others in here. Guys, if you want to chat, you're live on our show as well. So I'd like to discuss really quick. I know this is the first quarter of this game, but I just want to get you guys' thoughts since you're here on the Shannon Sharpe situation. Anyone who wants to chat about that, what your thoughts are? Let's start with this. Should Shannon Sharpe have been kicked out for that, or should he have been allowed to stay? Anyone in the fan club?
Okay, so I'm gonna chime in first, and then I'm gonna see if Stanley or Miss Exotica want to speak, or Landon possibly.
Cool.
But my whole thing is, you know, if it was an average person, he'd have been booted out the game, and probably wouldn't have came back to the game. You know,
he would have been banned, right?
He would have been banned from the arena long term. Being that he's Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Fame NFL, one of the best tight ends we ever seen. In the NFL, you get that special, that special privilege, which I don't think is right, but it is what it is. Time we live in.
That it is. He would have been Charles Oakley, right? That's what we're talking about here.
I mean,
he would have been Charles Oakley out. Yeah. Does anyone else in the fan club have any thoughts? We'd love to hear from you on. We're just starting out with the Shannon Sharpe situation here.
I think.
Go ahead.
I'm okay with the decision to throw him out. It wasn't so ugly. If it got worse than what it was, then you could say that okay, it would have been thrown out. But it was just exchange of words, and it was neither here nor there. It kind of appeared like he was the one who was more offended than it was. It was not the aggressor. And so I think for me, it was an okay decision. And then also speaking to what Crispy has said, I mean, the rules never apply the same to all. I mean, that's life. That's how life is. Uh, so I don't expect that people will always be treated the same. It's never going to happen like that.
Gotcha. I agree with you. We were talking about that before. We were asking, would Drake have gotten kicked out of a Toronto's Raptors game? No. Would Spike Lee have gotten kicked out of a Knicks game? No. Oakley would have,
No, yeah.
but Spike Lee would not have. And Spike Lee's had words plenty of times with back in the day Reggie Miller, even with Kobe Bryant. All in good fun. It looks like the Laker game is back on, guys. On to the second quarter. We're gonna let you guys enjoy it. Mike, you have something to say?
I have one more question, man. Do y'all think John Morant would have came over there if Stephen Adams wasn't already over there?
Already there as the enforcer to protect him?
Yeah, because I think John Morant was like, all right, I got my bodyguard over here now. I can talk some stuff.
Hey, Steven Adams was tossing people out the way left and right. So,
yeah,
so he definitely had a bodyguard there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Y'all agree with me with saying John Morant never would have came over there if Stephen wasn't already there, right?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
He don't want no smoke, that's for sure. All right, guys. Well, maybe we'll chime back in at halftime.
Yeah.
We're going to let you guys enjoy the show again. You're missing something, guys. If you love watching Laker games, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. Hop on Clubhouse, jump in the Los Angeles Lakers fan club, and join the watch party. You've got the smartest fans there. They're loyal. They're there every single game. Crispy's hosting the room all the time. He's great. So be sure to join there. And, of course, the Profanity Nation is the official podcast, so you can't go wrong. All right, guys, enjoy the game. We'll check back in with you hopefully at halftime, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Excellent. So that was fun. So it's always crazy in there, right? So they were quite calm for us between the quarter, but they're doing good. Okay, so right now, just since we're chiming in, of course, at this game, Lakers doing okay. They currently hold a 4-point lead, guys. So we'll see how that goes. So we were talking about the Shannon Sharpe thing. Let's get into some NFL football because that is definitely the most important games that are going on this weekend right now.
Yeah.
Fill us in on the games that have been played and games maybe that are to be.
So we have I think if I'm not making a mistake, the 49ers game, is that over? I think 49ers
versus Dallas.
I think 49ers versus Dallas. I think 49ers, when I make a mistake, have won.
Am I right that it seems like most people are assuming that one of those teams are the teams that's going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Well, yeah. Well, 49ers, but 49ers are going to play against Philly. I hope people that are 49er fans are not, sleep on Philly.
Don't underestimate.
I think
Philly's been great all year.
Philly's been great all year, and they're going to be playing at home, so they're going to have that. It's just next weekend is just going to be box office because you got Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs rematch of last year's AFC Championship. But then you have the NFC Championship with the 49ers and now the Philadelphia 76 Eagles. And
we're a basketball show.
I know, man. I mean, it slips out.
Understandable.
But I really, if I'm looking at it right now, on first glance, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Cincinnati, Philadelphia Super Bowl, and that's not because they're the underdog. It just seems that they're playing the best ball right now.
They're peaking at the right time.
They're peaking at the right time. Now, of course, when you're playing against the Giants and you're the number one seed, then it kind of like makes your stats a little skewed. But I think they have the horses. I like Jalen Hurts, how he's playing. It's going to be a different animal. I mean, when you got Dak Prescott, he's pretty much a turnover machine.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry. I mean, like if you're Philly, you also have the defense that's going to match that. Plus, you're going against Purdy, which Purdy is good. He's pretty good, right?
Man, I love Purdy still.
Well, I'm going to get to you in a second. That I wanted to talk to you, Money Mike. Is he the best story in sports this year?
I think so, and I think it needs to be more highlighted, man.
Right. I think he's gone under the radar.
Because see, listen, we have seen like historically great defenses with terrible quarterbacks, and they've won the Super Bowl. Like
right.
The Baltimore teams,
Trent different.
there's been great defensive teams, but Purdy actually is making plays.
Right.
I mean, he's and he's standing in the pocket and he's taking hits.
Right.
And he's taking chances too. He's doing everything that Mr. Irrelevant, man, you would never thought he was incapable of doing that.
I mean,
Right.
think
You know
about
what I
it.
mean?
If he is like, and it's act up because like we are. I mean, I wouldn't say we. I would say the media is pretending like he can't sustain this.
He's been sustaining it.
Right. And so since he is Mr. Irrelevant and he's not a first round pick, if he was
Not a first round pick, it got to the point for him where he was like, well, I'm not going to get drafted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm
He
just
was
saying,
ready.
but if this dude, if this guy would have been playing the way he's playing right now as a first round pick,
Oh yeah,
we'd be talking about
he'd
like
be Trevor Lawrence.
he's literally
Yeah,
a
yeah.
franchise cornerstone.
Yeah,
But the fact that he is Mr. Relevant, and we're just gonna go ahead and let's see how this works because we still have Trey Lance,
Mhm.
we still have Garoppolo, or I think Garoppolo might be a free agent at this end, but you have these options, so they're not giving him the credit that's needed. But he's winning games. This is a second win that he's won. I mean, second win in the playoffs. So he's 2-0 as a starter in the playoffs. Look, man, I'm a Raider fan. You know that through and through. Derek Carr's 0-1. You know, in the playoffs.
It is what it is.
You know, it's what
you
it
are,
is.
You are your record.
So you are your record. So, and I don't want to hear all this stuff about, okay, Derek Carr didn't play. It didn't have a defense because at the same time last year, he threw a pick in the red zone last year to seal the game. So that had nothing to do with the defense. So miss me with that. But we're talking about, we're talking about Purdy, and he's actually, like you said, making plays. He should be he is probably the best story right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's always a Cinderella story out there. He's definitely the Cinderella story.
He is definitely a Cinderella story. I mean, good luck to him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what? And I have to say this, man. Listen, Cowboy fans, you guys kill me. I mean,
no matter what,
out of all the fan bases that are out there, Cowboys fans feel like they're going to play the Super Bowl every year, to the point where if you go to the Super Bowl party, they're going to have their Cowboy jersey on, like they still there. Y'all just give it up.
Like they're playing in the game.
Yeah,
right.
give it up, man. You know, you guys lost. You haven't won since, 1993, 94, around that time. That makes it, I mean,
going on 30 years.
Legally, the a whole lot of people could drink because they were born in that. They able to drink now.
The people that are patronizing the bars have never seen you win.
Right.
People that were conceived.
Yeah.
Right.
During those Super Bowl runs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So so I mean, listen, that's why I like it. Always like it when the Cowboys lose because they're just one of the most annoying fans. So you gotta own that, right?
Yeah, you gotta hold that L.
Yeah, so you you guys don't say you don't like Raider fans. We like to beat up people. Those are all rumors.
Crazy.
But listen, we know when we ain't good, and at least we admit it.
Yeah,
you guys don't admit. Cowboy fans don't admit it.
Cowboy.
It's always one. There's always one piece away.
There's always
one piece away.
Yeah, well, and give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Man.
Right? Okay, so we heard Stat is essentially picking. He thinks that the Bengals and Philly will make it to the
I wouldn't be surprised.
Super Bowl. What's your thoughts on that, Money?
Man, listen. I need Patrick Mahomes to do something. He made it to. And look, being a Raider fan, you supposed to hate KC.
But game recognized game.
Yeah, but I love Patrick Mahomes. I feel like he's kind of have choked. I saw he made the Super Bowl, won Super Bowl. Then the next couple of times he had the opportunity to go there, he's choked. And I'm like, why are you choking? Because you've been there before. So come on, I think this is Mahomes' year. I know he has a high ankle sprain, but he has a week of rehab. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs. Eagles, 49ers. Oh, that's gonna be
a great
game. Man, that's
great game.
That's a defensive game with a great quarterback and a Cinderella quarterback.
Yeah,
man, good stories, good storylines.
Man, I think I'm gonna go with the story. I'm gonna say 49ers.
So you're gonna say Purdy's gonna take him to the promised land.
I'm gonna go with the story because
California love.
Here's the thing about that. 49ers have had what first year. Kaepernick took them. Garoppolo took them. Now Purdy will take them. So they gonna make it. Now who gonna win? They weren't able to win, so we're gonna see. But
let's see. Yeah, is that inexperience gonna bite them
Yeah,
in the Super Bowl.
the lights are different.
Oh,
So
definitely.
you picked the opposite team. You're going KC and San Francisco.
I'm thinking KC.
Well, those are favorites.
All right.
And so,
All right.
I mean, and so.
So I'm wrong about one of them. So
You gotta be wrong
we
about
gonna see
which one, right? All right, guys. Well, that's great. So time will tell.
what's going on, Mr. Fantasy Football Champion.
I don't need.
What do you know about these teams?
I like their colors. The colors are nice, and it helps me win.
What
I
team is
am
McCaffrey?
Again, since you brought it up, I am the
What do you
fantasy
think?
football
How many yards
champion.
Steve McCaffrey is going to do?
How many what?
Yards is he going to?
Oh, he's going to do 140 yards.
Is that running or catching?
Running and then 2 touchdown catches.
This ain't all-purpose yards, bro. It's all-purpose yards, and then there's 140 total yards.
That's it. There we go. All-purpose yards. There you go. So, guys, let's touch base here. NFL's
I
great.
love putting my people on blast.
Yeah, hey, but I
You
still have the crown. I still got the crown. So you can say all you want. I wear the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, they say, guys. Okay, so let's talk about this anniversary of today, guys. Kobe, 81-point game against the Raptors, I believe it was at the time.
Yep.
A lot of players are getting closer to that. We've had a 70-point game. We've had some 60-point and 50-point games. Of course, the rules have changed. I got a question for you. We'll go to Money Mike on this one because Money Mike is a little bit more sensitive about records and what they mean and so forth, I guess. If a player under these new rules scores more than 81, is that a better accomplishment than what Kobe did? Or is it not?
I would have to watch the game. And I'm gonna tell you why. Cause what did Booker get? He got like 70 points, and they were touting that, but they lost. Like what I mean? Like like you lost. Why are you touting your 70 points? Because you lost. Like when the other guy got the can't think of his name right now. But he got it. They needed every one of those points in order to win. I can't think who it was. It was a free throw. The guy just scored 71 points.
With Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah. They needed every one of those points. So it wasn't no padding stats. He did similar to what Kobe did what it had to take to win.
It was needed.
Lakers
to win that
were
game.
playing like crap. I'm gonna tell you, I'm really mad about this because me and my one of my really good friends, he was moving out of town, and we were looking at the schedule. We were like, "What game we gonna go to?"
Yep.
And we looked at that Tuesday game, and then we looked at the Friday game. No, let's go to the game on Friday because it's the weekend. And I was a beneficiary of all the memorabilia of the 81 points because the game I could have chose was the 81-point game. So I went to the game where all the T-shirts and all the after.
Yeah. What would you rather have, the memorabilia or the memory?
The memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that ticket, you know what I mean? I was at that game. Yeah. That was amazing. But look, I'm telling you right now, like it's true Kobe. Like if you research Kobe and ask why Kobe didn't pass the ball, it's because he didn't trust anybody, right?
Yep.
And we were losing, and we were losing badly. And Kobe said, "Forget it. I'm not going to lose this game." And he took him, and they never double teamed him, so he did what he did. So I don't have a problem with people scoring points. I have a problem with people stat padding. So hey, if you guys scored 71, 81, 82 to win the game, no problem. That's how I feel.
Stat pat, better accomplishment, same accomplishment, or less if a player eclipses that 81 points in today's game?
I mean, points are points. So I'm going to say the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if a guy get 85 points, 85 points. Like I'm not going to say and just then picking it.
But what if they lose? What is going?
I mean, it's still 85 points.
But they lost.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
How do you lose? How do you lose scoring 85?
Are we saying that?
I'll say that most
are
people
we saying
do
that
not
the record
remember.
don't count because they lost?
Yeah.
The record's still gonna count.
I mean,
most people in this world who know that Kobe scored 81, if you ask them, but did they win the game? They wouldn't know. Only Laker fans really know if they actually won the game. All they know is that Kobe scored 81.
And particularly me, because I was literally at the game. I was at the game. And so, like, quick story, my friend hit me up with a ticket. Well, first of all, he's like, Pat, you want to go to the game? And I was like, well, I mean, who we playing? He's like, Toronto. I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do. Like literally, it was like an afterthought. Like it's on a Sunday, no one really cares about this. They're just all right. I'm just gonna watch the Raptors. Like the Raptors, like
no, they were nothing.
Like it's like there's no T-Mac, there's no Vince Carter. You know what I'm saying? It's the Raptors. Like it's just Jalen Rose, right? Yeah. So we go there and Kobe's having like a really pretty good night. Like, so he has like 24, 25 points at halftime. So you just kind of like doing the simple math. You thinking like, oh, if he just does this again, man, he's going to ball. Like, and it was like we were coming out of halftime and I'm sitting next to my friend that got me the ticket. And it's happening in the middle of the quarter and he's just getting hot. In third quarter, he's just getting hot. And I looked at him like, yo, it might be one of them nights. Like, I don't know why I said it to say, because I've seen Kobe. We know about, because before this happened, it's the 62 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah, he was on a
You
run.
know, we seen what these nights supposed to look like when he gets hot. 62 points, like when he hit those 12 threes in that game. Like, we know when Kobe's cooking, you know, it's like it looks like one of them nights.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that meant, right? And literally is 24 points at halftime. We're looking at the score at the third quarter, and the dude got like 50-some points. Well, he just scored 20-some points at third quarter. So at that point, and we're winning the game. Now he did all that. Now we're winning the game. So now everything is gravy. So now we're looking for like Phil Jackson. You better not dare
take him out.
Take his ass out. Like, no. We're gonna take it. We're gonna ride this all the way to the end, right? And he just started making shots. Now, I will say this. If you really look at the game, the third quarter is when he really started the cooking. The fourth quarter was a lot of shots, but a lot of free throws. He shot a lot of free throws in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they started fouling.
He started fouling. So he shot a lot of free throws. Wasn't making that many shots. Didn't diminish the accomplishment.
No.
It's just like the third quarter is when everybody's like, oh, shoot. It's like, this fool got 50 at 3 quarters. Like, dude, okay. All he got to do is like 18. Because I'm knowing, obviously knowing the history, I'm like, Thompson, 71. And he got 54 points, something like that. And I'm thinking like, oh, he's there. He about to get it. He's literally about to break the Laker record. 80 points didn't even come into my, I didn't even think 80 points.
No.
And then
you mean Baylor, right? Not Thompson. It was Elgin Baylor's record, right?
71?
Yeah, I think it was Elgin Baylor.
Thompson had 71 though.
Okay.
I think Thompson.
It's that bad. My bad.
No, if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking Thompson had 71, but no, Elgin Baylor had the Laker record.
Yeah, I think he did.
But I know Thompson had 71 or 72, and that's the closest one to Wilt Chamberlain. Like David Thompson.
I'll give my opinion a little bit. I think if a player eclipses that 81, that it's not as great of an accomplishment. And I'll compare it to movie theater box office intake. They all talk about, a new record. This movie just brought in more money than any movie ever in the history of time. Well, of course, movie tickets are $25 a piece now. It's not as hard as when they were $5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
How many tickets did you sell? Not how much money did you bring in? Because with inflation, that skews the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need as many people to go, and you can still break the record, but you're not necessarily making more money because it also costs you 100 times the amount to make that movie. So I think that those numbers are skewed. I think when you change the rules and you have so many players eclipsing the 40 and 50 point mark so early in the season, it shows the changes that have been done in the league to help the offense and to help scoring. You see these games. It is not uncommon now to have a game that's 112 to 125. That was wild back in the day. You didn't see those scores.
Yeah.
So take everything with a grain of salt, put it within the context of the rules today, and it changes it the same way as you might say, well, the GOAT of this era is different than the GOAT of that era, because you can't compare, because the rules were different, everything's different, the game was different. You can't say this one's better than that one. So I actually feel like it would change it. Now, if they get 81 or 82, I don't see it as good of an accomplishment. If they hit the 90s, Perhaps that's an amazing wow, now you're talking crazy numbers, but there has to be some sort of handicap there accounting for the changes in the rules. But it is what it is. That's a personal opinion, and that's why we love sports. We all have those choices, guys. We've been talking for a little while here. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. You are watching the Profanity Nation podcast exclusively on Infanity TV on YouTube. We'll be right back. United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services. All right, we're back. The Profanity Nation podcast, like I said, exclusively here on Infanity TV every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so we've got the Lakers playing Portland tonight. We've got NFL playoffs that we touched on. We just reviewed the Kobe 81-point game.
And my bad, Pat. Can you go ahead and do the correction?
Oh, no. So, no, you were correct with saying that Elgin Baylor did have the Laker record at 71 points. David Thompson for the Nuggets in 78 actually did have 73 points. And then the next one, so he was the second most. And then, of course, Wilt Chamberlain's number one at that time. So I was thinking about, like, could Kobe get into that realm and get maybe 75? He got 80 points. So 81 points, excuse me. So, yeah. So that's that's cool. That Kobe had that. He did beat Thompson for the number 2 spot.
Yeah,
he took it. He knew what he was going after too.
Best commercial ever.
Oh yeah, him and Jalen Rose.
With
the olives. I'll take 81. Oh no, I'm kidding. He knows what I mean.
He gets it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is, what that showed. That was one of the first commercials that showed Kobe Bryant's personality and sense of humor at all.
Especially when you find out that it was his idea to do it.
Yeah, it was great.
You know what I mean?
It was great.
Yeah, like Jalen said that Kobe called him up and said, "Hey, I want to do this commercial."
I think it's great.
You know what I mean?
It's
But
great. And Jalen too.
Jalen's face.
But
he makes the whole commercial.
But I completely love Jalen. The whole narrative about that game, because he's like, "Hey man, you should double team him." I'm like, nah. Like, they're looking like, all right, well, forget it then. Let's go ahead and let him do this.
Yeah. Let him beat us. He'll have to beat us alone, and he did. By the way. He did.
We don't want Kwame Brown to beat us. We want Kobe.
Right. I mean, and that's the key.
Exactly.
That's the key.
So, as our followers, listeners, fans, and participants in the Profanity Nation podcast, you guys all know that we have something very special here on our set. We have the statue that Dan Medina created and placed on the crash site, the 1-year anniversary of the crash with Kobe Bryant, Gianna, and 7 others. The helicopter crash in Calabasas that took his life. And we're approaching that anniversary as well, January 26th, guys. As the years pass, it's always these moments that remind you how quick time flies, right? I don't see Kobe's popularity influence on the game waning at all. He's still there. People are still showing their respect, still wearing Mamba gear. Players are still referencing Kobe and things that Kobe taught them.
Yeah.
I don't think that will ever change, Stat.
No. And I was just talking to another buddy of mine, and we were just looking at kind of like a Kobe highlight reel. And we just said, who got game like Kobe right now? Like, who has that game? Like, I know that Michael Jordan always kids that that Kobe's told his moves, but the mid-range game is now a lost art. And even though Kawhi, literally right now, I would say him and DeRozan are like the kings of the mid-range. No one's doing what Kobe was doing. No one's doing the reverse pivot. Like that move, the reverse pivot off the wrong foot, like shooting, like
fade away.
Fade away. Who's doing that? Like this is what we're talking about. There's no one out there. And they're really relying on physical attributes versus skill. Like you can see Giannis is killing it because he's big and he's lanky and he does his thing. Embiid has skill, but he's a bigger guy with skill. Durant is just like this unicorn, but he's like a 6'11", 7-foot guard. But we're just talking about somebody that's 6'6", 6'7", operating, cooking in the middle, and just like destroying you from within and not having to go all the way to the rack. Like, I mean, he has that game and he hit you from the outside, hit you from the inside, hit you from mid-range. Like there's nobody, I mean, I say we want to say, I mean, I want to say we want to say the younger generation wants to say Booker or, Tatum. But I'm like, yeah, but their game is still not Mamba-esque. It doesn't feel like that. It's good, but it doesn't feel like where, like Kobe would like basically take over game. They don't have that yet. So yeah, it's interesting, like you said, like we have these moments where we have to a recollection or reflection about Mama and seeing him, like, and then I always thought about like who's doing it like him right now.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody's ever worked that hard, practiced that hard, and I don't think anyone will.
And that's what I was gonna say. That's what I really love about when everybody talks about Kobe is his work ethic.
Yeah.
AI was, we're talking about, hey man, when I was at the club, Kobe was in the gym. And that's one thing because you could talk about how great everybody is. You could talk about all these players, all that, but they're always talking about their performances on the court.
Right.
But the impact that he made amongst the people, to LeBron James, to Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, AI, Shaq, all these Hall of Famers that talk about him was his work ethic. And they all could see that his work ethic was better than theirs. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the biggest compliment because that becomes the standard on not just what you do on the court, but just the greatness that he had. Like he had the talent, but he maximized his talent because of his work ethic. And nobody talks about that. And that's a discipline.
Right.
You know what I mean?
His discipline was second to none.
Right. And so, you can't take that thing away. You could take away the records, you take all this stuff. Can't take away his discipline. Can't take away his work ethic.
He was unshakable.
Right.
No one was ever going to get to him. Hey, Mike, it's halftime of the Laker game. It's ugly. Let's see if what they're doing in the fan club. Let's see if we can hop back in. So the Lakers are currently down by 25. So that's a quarter. What's going on?
Pat Bear in his mouth?
What's going on, fan club? This is Profanity Nation. What's going on with this game?
We down by 25.
Man, we scored 13 points in the second quarter.
Oh, come
on. What's going on, man?
I was just saying, I don't know what happened that quick, guys.
That's called Portland. That's the Lakers in Portland. They always have trouble.
Wow.
This is a big deficit that they have to make up for now at the half. What do you guys see that they need to do different? Anybody in the fan club, speak up. Feel free.
Westbrook gonna have to hit some shots.
Oh God.
Yes.
And perimeter defense.
Defense. Westbrook's got to hit some shots. How's everyone else playing? Of course, we're hosting the show. We got the game on the side, but how's everyone else playing? What do you think?
Well, LeBron has 17. Brian has 14. And that's just about it. That's your high scorers on the team.
Gotcha. So not too many others doing anything else. So you got to see Westbrook step it up, Schroeder step it up a little bit and get that defense going, huh?
Yeah, well, Schroeder only has 2 points, so that's a problem.
That is a problem. Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more consistent, especially on the road when we need him. We need our guards there.
Yeah, but listen, I think the main thing is defense, though. I mean, they scored over 30 points in the second quarter. I mean, you're going to have slumps, in
dry spells,
like
sure.
that, dry spells like that. My question is always, how was LeBron's defense? You know, I appreciate the 17 points, but how was LeBron's defense? How was Thomas Bryant's defense? You know,
Right at the rim.
They scored almost 50 points in that quarter.
What's that?
I said they scored almost 50 points in that quarter.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it was non-existent.
Yeah. So nobody's getting any rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? These are intangible things. I mean, because obviously, you know, when we look at stuff, I see that Westbrook is 2 for 8. He's 0 for 3 for 3-point. Yeah, I mean, that definitely is bad. But there has to be some defense being played.
Are we right then doing the math that this is a 40-point turnaround from where the Lakers were up like 18-3 and now they're down by 25?
Oh, yeah.
That's like a 40-point turnaround.
Yeah.
In a half. In one half of basketball is a 40-point turn. That's how is that acceptable at all?
Chick Hearn would be throwing stuff. I mean, it would be cussing almost on the air right now. So
another thing that we need that's hurting us is the turnovers.
Yep.
We got 12 turnovers right now. That's too many.
Yes.
Yeah. And they just broke the record for the least turnovers at 2. The least the Lakers ever had in another game.
Yeah, that was right now at halftime. Looking at the stats sheet, they got 13 turnovers to 4. And then points off turnovers, 19.
Oh gosh, so they're giving them up.
And then they're
turning into fast break.
It's just, they're outworking us. Looks like.
I mean, Anthony Simons has 22 points.
The 3-point shot though.
Who's his?
Yeah.
The 3-point shot. Like, how are they going 12 for 24 for the 3-point land? Obviously, I mean, I can't believe that of those 24 shots, all of those were contested. I know there were some wide open shots, and so
there was quite a few of them.
Yeah, and so that's where we're at. We're going back to where the defensive intensity was not there, especially when you're giving up 45 points in that quarter.
And who are we placing that on? Is that on the team, guys? What are you thinking about Darvin Ham's coaching so far in the first half of this game?
He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Do you think so?
Which is?
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to keep his team in this game, make some adjustments and such?
Beverly not to talk to Dame.
Yeah.
He's doing right by the rotation.
All right.
But as far as the defense is concerned, it's not there. You don't see the energy they had when they played the Grizzlies.
It's all Pat Bev fault.
Well, because Shannon Sharpe's not there. They need their enforcer, Shannon Sharpe.
So what are you saying, that Simon was Pat Bev, man, and Simon just cooking him?
I don't know, man. He started talking to Dame, man.
Yeah.
Dame pull up for 35 feet, man.
That's the last guy you want to talk to.
I think Pat Bev is playing solid defense on Dame, though, if you ask me. He's
staying up on him.
Hey, who got Anthony Simons? That dude got 22
Anthony
points.
Simons don't have nobody in front of him right now.
Man, that dude is 6 for 8 from 3. He 8 for 11 from the field goals total. Got 22 points. Who's his
letting
name?
him go crazy?
Yeah,
somebody's gonna have to step up.
Somebody's gonna have to step up. Darvin Ham gonna have to put somebody in charge of that. All right, guys. Well, let's hold it down in the fan club there. You guys enjoy the rest of the game. Hopefully, there'll be another 40-point turnaround, and the Lakers will be on the other side of that this time.
Hopefully.
Well, look, hey, Christy, this is what I'm gonna say. Hey, Christy, it's time for LeBron to take the game over, right?
Yeah, he's been trying. He's been trying.
Okay.
He can't do it by himself.
All right. Well, let's see.
And if he does not do it,
then it's all his fault.
It's all his fault.
Hey,
that's Mike's.
This is what I'm gonna say. In honor of Kobe Bryant and the anniversary of the 81-point game, LeBron James needs to take over the game. Go ahead and break the record tonight.
Hey,
Mama
forever.
Say that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, go ahead. What you say, Chrissy? What you say, Chrissy?
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because in the first quarter I said LeBron looked like he on pace to go for 70 tonight. So it'd be nice to see him go for it, man.
Man, and listen,
he got you.
Look, we know our man LeBron needs a reason to actually perform. So this
Spence, who's in the audience watching.
Yeah,
man.
You're terrible.
I tell you what, maybe you should call Shannon Sharpe, have him come down there.
Talk about.
Yeah, we need that too. Where's Shannon at?
We need him to travel with the team.
Travel with the team.
Where you at, Uncle Shay Shay?
Shay Club Shay Shay. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
you guys
thank
enjoy
y'all.
the rest of the game, one way or the other, right? Thanks, Crispy.
Yeah, shoot.
Hilarious, guys. All right. So fan club kicking off, as you guys see. Again, I'll say it one more time. If you guys are a fan of the Laker game, if you're sitting home alone watching the Laker game, why are you doing that? Hop on Clubhouse, join the Los Angeles Lakers fan club, and join that watch party there, because they're having a blast. They're talking about the game, and everyone's got something to add. We're all fans. We all got an opinion. We all got a thought. That's what we're here. Profanity Nation, pro fans. We're all valid. We all have something valid to say, guys. So let's go ahead and do that.
Probably more exciting in there than watching the game by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Watching the game by yourself, especially when it's depressing like it is.
Right. Yeah, you can start talking about some other stuff.
You know. All right, guys. So we've hit on the NFL playoffs. We know who you guys are picking. Let's bounce back. I'm going to come full circle back with that again. Okay. So you were Eagles, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't be surprised. Now, if you had to put my feet to the fire, I think it would be Eagles, Kansas City. But because since last year they already had this matchup, and it's kind of like, you beat me last year, and I'll let you get there. I ain't letting that slip away this year, right? Now, also, with the coming of the 49ers, it's easy to believe, because remember, 49ers dropped a pick that would have sealed the game against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. If they would have got that pick, they probably would have won that game, and thus they will be in the playoffs.
So they were
it was a
close as
championship. So you have these guys who did the whole season, came right back to the spot where now it's time to show and prove, and now they're going to try to do that.
I'm actually a firm believer in what you just spoke on, that before a team can win a championship, they have to suffer a tragic loss.
Definitely.
So that they have that drive. They have
motivation.
that point of reference to go back to. But I'm going to hold you to your first picks of Cincinnati and
Cincinnati, Philly. Let's do that. I want to see that.
And
yes, let's do that.
Who's winning from those two teams?
You know what? I would just go back, like you were just saying, heartbreaking win. I mean, heartbreaking loss. If Joe Burrow did not get sacked, Jamar Chase was wide open, and they would have got that ball. That would have been a touchdown, and they would be Super Bowl champions right now. So let's say they're back in that spot again. I think they'll beat Philly.
All right, so you're going with Cincinnati.
I would say Cincinnati wins.
Cincinnati Bengals are Super Bowl winners.
Yeah, I got a boy at work that's from Cincinnati, so I'm riding with him right now.
All right, deal. Money Mike, you had San Francisco and
KC,
and Super Bowl winner from that, if they make it, is who, sir?
Man, I actually probably would be rooting for KC in this case, but I think the 49ers defense is too good, and offense is too good for KC. I mean, I think offensively they match up pretty good, but ain't nobody gonna stop McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel
and Purdy
and Ayuk and Purdy. So
pretty good.
Yeah. So I mean,
Purdy's playing with house money at this point.
Very much so.
So he's got nothing to lose. If he just makes it to the Super Bowl, he's done more than anyone ever expected.
We could Google Purdy. Purdy's probably not making no more than $400,000, and he's about to get for show over $1 million, maybe about 5 or 6 million.
And endorsements.
Yeah.
His endorsements will eclipse that quite a bit.
Yeah, so he's definitely about to make millions right now. He probably. I'll have to Google it, but I know he's not making no more than $400. Probably less than that.
Yeah, I don't think
his signing bonus probably was like $1,000.
So you're screaming California love in the Super Bowl,
man. Yeah, I mean, let's do it, California.
All right, 49ers. All right, guys. So some California love. So we got 49ers over here, Bengals over there. I'm gonna sit on your picks and just watch and see what happens.
Because he knows nothing about.
I don't have to pick. I'm the champion. I can wait until
he's taking a bye. He's taking a bye.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to play in the first round because I get to go to the next round. I have a bye in the first round. I'm automatically in. I didn't have to take part in the wild card game because I'm already in, guys. I don't need to do the play in.
Wow.
I'm the champion, so I get to sit on that, y'all. You guys know what time it is.
Sure.
This is towards the end of the show, and we always finish the show with a segment we call Money Mike's Out of Bounds. Money Mike is going to share his thoughts or opinions on a topic, and this is real simple. Everyone can take part. Let us know in the comments. Is Money Mike's thoughts or opinions in bounds or out of bounds? Money Mike?
This is a real easy
got the
one.
mic.
Pat, I know you're going to agree with me. Jeff, he don't know nothing about football, so you might as well agree with me.
Dude.
Let's see.
You know what I'm saying? Listen.
But I am the champion.
Look. This guy, we're going to stay in the football thing, too.
Okay.
This is just my own personal feeling. Isn't it time for Tom Brady to retire? Am I out of bounds to say, look, Tom Brady, you've done everything. You won 7 Super Bowls. You won 6 with the Patriots. You went over to the Buccaneers. You went to a whole nother system and won a championship there also. So what that means is you're not a system
specific
player. You went to a whole nother system and won Super Bowl there, which to me solidifies the fact that you are 100% GOAT. I hate you, but you are the GOAT because of what you have done to accomplish. There is no other record or no other reason for it that I see for him to play the games. The teams aren't good enough anymore. These up and coming, they're way better quarterbacks are young that are way better than him. You're losing a step, nothing else to prove. Am I out of bounds to say Tom Brady just needs to hang it up because there's no reason for him to be playing anymore?
Oh, you're out of bounds, bro. And for the only
I'm out of bounds.
Yep.
You were so sure.
The only reason why you already lost your marriage.
Why?
Over coming back to the game.
You already lost it.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You won the Super Bowl. You played after that. You didn't make
Sacrifice
it. Your wife was like, "Are you said you're going to retire?" He said, "No, I'm going to retire, baby." And then he came back and played the game. She said, "Okay, well then guess what, bro? I'm filing these papers." You already lost your wife, bro. You might as well keep playing until you want to play, because there's really nothing really for you to do. Because obviously, if you're saying what I'm saying, and I'm thinking the same thing you're saying, he got 7 championships. There is literally no reason for him to play, but he just played for the love of the game. The love of the game just got his wife out the door.
Okay,
so if that's the case, you might as well keep on playing. There's no real reason for it. There's no other reason.
He officially married the game. When
you
she
married
out
the game
door.
now. You played it all the way out.
First of all, let's be honest here, man. You know, I'm nowhere near close to being and never will be close to Tom Brady's status. But how many women do you think are in line for him to pick to marry tomorrow?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can see if he was like,
look. Here's the thing. Me, I'm a regular person. I love my life. You know,
you'd get kicked out.
I don't want my wife to leave.
You'd get kicked out of the game.
Look, if my wife leaves me, I'm hurt, and I'm down for 4 or 5 years before I got to recover.
Right.
Listen, this is Tom Brady. They already know. These other women already know everything about Tom Brady. He can marry them tomorrow. He ain't got no cooling off period. Come on,
hear that.
Man.
I hear that.
Am I lying?
No, it's
am I lying?
Wait, hold on. You acting you acting like this is like Ben Affleck, Jennifer Gardner situation.
Man.
And then he's just like, you know what? I'm divorced, but there's Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so he's upgraded right there on the divorce tip. Like, yeah, but he married Giselle.
Yeah, okay, but
so
listen,
I'm just saying.
Listen, there's
like,
another model. There's another model.
I know
just
that.
as beautiful.
And then they're gonna call you a creep, like they call Leonardo DiCaprio.
There's another model.
So it's just what it is.
At this point. That he could go ahead and get with.
Just
right
come
now.
to the Raiders. You know what's out there.
He cannot be.
You know what's out there in the Raiders.
He can't be a Raider.
You know what is out there.
No. He's not going there with the dysfunction.
No, hey man, but hey, Mike saying, man, there's a bunch of escorts out there.
Oh,
you know,
man. Like, you can find as many as you want, Tom Brady.
We're talking, live your best life, Tom.
Oh, jeez. Well, you can do that just about anywhere. He doesn't need to go somewhere where there's escorts. However, I'm going to say you're inbounds, but for a different reason. I'm going to say you're inbounds simply because I do believe that regardless of your record and regardless of what you've accomplished, that you can tarnish your legacy, and not officially in the record book, but in the eyes of the beholder. So you have, so many fans, young fans, and they're just going to watch him lose. They're not going to see the best of him. And this is a what have you done for me lately world We know that. If a player goes out on injury, Anthony Davis, instantly he's no longer the best player. Everything changes so quickly. So I'm going to say that it actually, in the eyes of the beholder, can tarnish legacy. The Brett Favre situation where he stuck around too long, boxers who stick around too long. It doesn't change your record and you won these titles, but it changes people's thoughts. They see you as human, more human than if you just go ahead and, quit or, retire when you're on top of the game. I think there's something to be said for that.
Well, I mean, just to go on that, does Michael Jordan's stint at the Wizards taint his legacy? No one stopped. No. I hear you, but no one stopped saying he's not the GOAT. He's still the GOAT.
Correct.
100% the GOAT. And no one's saying that the
nobody
Wizards
even
are saying
that dude played for the Wizards.
And Tom Brady with the Bucks did win a Super Bowl.
So they know he played for the
So
Bucks.
what I'm saying is, and if he's playing in that same, like, what else he got to do? He won Super Bowls with 2 different teams.
Mm-hmm.
He won 7. So pretty much at the one point in time, Michael Jordan was there sitting pretty like, hey, I got 6 rings.
Yeah.
I'm king of all sports.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's now got 7 rings. He's now the king of all sports. Matter of fact, he even ribbed Jordan, let him know, man, I got one over Jordan. Like kind of like that Kanye song. Like, I got one over Jordan. So how can the GOAT really diminish his GOAT status by playing more when the 7 rings still, for lack of a better word, reign supreme? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you do that?
I'll compare it to, and this will support Money Mike. I'll compare it, or this will hurt Money Mike. I'll compare it right now. If you go online, you see a lot of people comparing what LeBron is doing at this age versus what Jordan did at this age. His scoring, his this, his that, his averages, or say no other player at this age. So I would ask you this. LeBron, his record, his legacy is golden, but he's still playing at a high level. Is that helping his legacy? Because is his legacy being helped by the fact that he's playing, scoring such high numbers?
It's helping his legacy.
If it helps, then on the other side, you have to say that it hurts if you don't compete and you're not as good.
Well, we're also talking about. So we're saying if we're looking at ring count, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about GOAT status. The only reason why LeBron isn't the GOAT in people's mind because he has 4 rings. Right, he doesn't have 6. If he had 6, then we will have a whole different conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even care because Magic Johnson went. Remember, Magic Johnson went 5-4 in finals. He won 5. He lost 4 in finals. Nobody cared about the fact that he lost 4. They cared that he won 5. LeBron has only won 4. He hasn't won 5 to even be in the
He's
realm.
under 500.
Right. And we even got people that want to sneak this and say that, okay, Steph Curry got 4 too.
Yeah.
So now we got people all up in your you got people that are just saying that what about Steph Curry? Like, there's nobody in Tom Brady's stratosphere. I mean, he already left Montana in the dust. So there's nobody else that we can even equate to him. So if I'm playing basically with house money, which he is, all I'm doing is doing what LeBron doing is padding stats. I'm getting the most yards ever in league history, or the most touchdowns. Like, I'm just padding stats now because I got my ring count. I got 7. There's nothing you can do to take away the 7. Nothing you can do with that. Like, so even if he has 2, what he has?
How much? I'll ask Money Mike on this. Money Mike, and then we're gonna go real quick because we're already late. How much would an 8th title help Brady, or would it at all?
His title would help Brady, but I don't think that he's going to go to a team where he'll be able to win a championship.
Yeah,
because all the what you have to look at is all like all these teams right now that have made the playoffs all have their quarterback, their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
You're not replacing Jalen Hurts. You're not replacing Burrow. You're not replacing Mahomes. You're not, so when they say all these teams are quarterback away, what team really is a quarterback away?
Right.
For a 46-year-old, about to be 47-year-old quarterback, because I mean, there are these up and coming quarterbacks coming out the league, I think are way better.
Oh yeah.
Than what
he's giving right now. Yeah, what he's giving right now.
Who we got? Like Caleb Williams to me right now is better than a 47-year-old Tom
Can
Brady.
I get Caleb Williams on the Raiders, man?
No, I mean,
that's all I'm asking.
Pat, am I
100%.
We're comparing Caleb Williams to a 47-year-old Tom Brady. No, why are we doing that?
No, but I can tell you this: with the right recipe, like say if Sean Payton went to a team that has a pretty good defense,
he's talking about going to the Broncos.
Okay,
so let's put him on the Broncos. He's talking about Sean Payton with the Raiders.
That's why it won't happen. Yeah. So it have to be like something like the Jets or something like that. The Jets have a pretty good defense. They got weapons. They're really well coached. They just sucked on the offensive end. He could come in and manage the game and win a lot of games. Like he can win 10, 11 games and lose in the second round of the playoffs, and it will not tarnish his legacy. It's almost like Kurt Warner getting to the Super Bowl. No one cares about that. Kurt Warner got his championship. He's a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? So it's all that matters.
All right, guys. It's been a great show. We will know soon. Next week, we'll be talking about which two teams are heading to the Super Bowl. That's for sure. So we will know, and that will not change my championship with the fantasy football in the least, regardless of.
Man, I cannot wait till next year. I'm just saying,
regardless of how these games go, I'm still the champion of fantasy football, and I'll maintain that ground for at least another 10, 11 months, guys. So enjoy that, because I'd hate to be on the other side of me when I win. To everybody out there, thank you to the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. Thank you, Crispy. Thank you, everyone who took part. Once again, sign up for the Los Angeles Lakers fan club on Clubhouse. You won't regret it. Watch parties every game. To the Lakers, find a way, do something, show up on the road, give Portland some trouble. We'll see what happens there. We're not too hopeful. This is the Profanity Nation podcast for my co-host Money Mike and Stat Pat. I'm Simsta, here every Sunday night at 8:30 Pacific on Infanity TV. Don't forget it. We'll see you next week, guys.
Peace.
Peace.